Hello there guys, back in the fish room again. I just want to talk to you a little bit today about a virus called koi sleeping sickness, or CEV for short. But first, before I do that, I just want to show you these fish here. These were, I don't know if you remember a video a few weeks back, maybe months back now. I bought some Welsh Dragon Sankey C-grade young fish from New Forest Koi, and I believe these are the same selection that the Gazwad, the growing show with a difference for this year, was drawn from. I could be wrong, someone will have to correct me on that if I am, but I'm sure that's the same group. And as they were going through, obviously New Forest were picking their own selections, by which point everybody already had theirs, they were growing theirs along. And these were some of the rejects, if you like, but I was watching the videos and even the rejects looked good, so I thought I'd get a load in for myself just to see what there was. So I ordered 3 boxes of these, 3 boxes of 20. And they send a few extras, obviously, in case of DOAs, which is very good of them. So I believe I ended up with 66 of these in total. And I've had fish from there in the past, and I've either introduced them into a new system or directly into the pond, which I know you shouldn't do, but you should quarantine all new arrivals really, even if they've come from a safe, biosecure location, just for your own peace of mind. It's a good thing to do. But in the past, I've always been a bit naughty, and I've just thrown them straight in, obviously acclimated them, got them used to the water, that sort of thing, made sure they were comfortable, but basically I've never had any problems introducing fish before. This lot I split into 2. I put some of the bigger, better ones out into the main pond, and I kept I'd say 2/3 to I don't know if it was a 50-50 split, but either way I put some of the bigger, better ones outside in the main pond to grow on, and the others I kept inside in the IBC setup I have, which had been running for a short while then. So it was all mature, water tests coming out fine, it was mature media, mature filter, yada yada yada. So first few days they were fine, and then suddenly they started overnight just dropping like flies. And at first I thought it was sort of nitrite poisoning, and I don't know, your mind jumps to all sorts of other things. So I was doing water changes, that sort of thing, and all the tests were coming back perfectly fine, nothing wrong with the parameters. So I sort of reached out to them, we discussed it a little bit, and they said basically they believe it's a bit of it's koi sleeping sickness, the remedy of which, now there's no cure, but to help remedy it, you can salt the pond, the tank, wherever you're keeping them, and add heat. You can heat them up, it's even better. On my system, both systems, the outdoor and the indoor, I have no heat, so that wasn't an option. I could salt water, which I did. And ultimately, over a few weeks of water changes and salting and looking after, this is what I have left. Excuse me. So there are some nice fish here. I'm happy with what I got left, but I did lose a lot of very nice fish as well. But I just thought I'd give you an update to that video. There's a few in here that have not got the best bodies, and I don't know if it's where they were affected. They just may never recover. I mean, there's that one there, for example, is very skinny, emaciated looking, feeding but doesn't seem to be doing anything. Another one there at the top. So ultimately these may have to be culled, the few that are not looking great. But of the ones that are left, I mean, we've got this huge Becco, another one there. We do have some nice little Kohaku out of it, some nice flowery patterns on them. They're not got the most pattern on them, but what they do have is quite nice, and the shiroji on them, the white, is nice and crisp. The shoulders on them are nice and tall. They've got a good body shape, some of these. And then you've got some fantastic examples of Ginrin scalation as well in some of these. So depending on how these turn out, some of them may be kept for brood stock in the future. I'm not sure. I'm just growing them on for now. I'll see what happens. But they are happy and healthy now, it seems, for the most part. They are eating well. So anyway, that's the update on that. And I'll join you in a moment, and I just want to have a little chat on what I know about koi sleeping sickness and how we can sort of prevent, hopefully, is the main thing. But if we do unfortunately get it in our systems, how we can help the fish as best we can to pull through. So I'll join you in a moment. Welcome back, guys. Right then, koi sleeping sickness, or Carp Edema Virus, as I suppose the scientific name. It's quite a nasty one. It can lead to things minimally, skin lesions, sort of swollen gill area, sunken eyes, that sort of thing, emaciation, lethargy, that sort of thing. And obviously the more extreme it gets, it leads to unresponsiveness, and then the koi kind of slip into a coma and unfortunately pass away in a lot of cases. There's no cure as such for the virus, but the symptoms can be alleviated, hopefully long enough for the koi to recover. So basically what it does is it affects the sort of the osmotic balance of the fish, and the ability to take in and get rid of salts basically through the skin, and that causes all sorts of problems internally. So one of the ways that we can help to alleviate this is to up the salt content of the surrounding water to reach that sort of balance that the fish naturally needs to maintain internally. So normally if you salt to sort of 0.5, 0.75, in that sort of range, 0.5 to 0.75%, that will help. And also, if you can give them heat, that's even better. If you can afford to heat up to sort of 26, 28 degrees to get that metabolism, the metabolic rate up, that will help them to get through it faster. the less time they spend with it, the greater a chance they've got of recovering. So that will help to reduce mortality. And other than that, that's all you can really do. And hope, basically, that they'll pull through. And if the fish is strong enough and a fighter, then it will do. So how does it get transmitted? Well, if contaminated water comes into contact with your own water, it can come through that. So say like you buy a fish from a I don't want to say dodgy, but you know what I mean, a not so reputable company that may have it in their fish, in their water, and they don't carry out all the necessary tests and treatments and heat ramping and quarantine process. Just bringing contaminated water in the bag and introducing that into your pond can bring it in. Obviously, a diseased fish, so a fish actively carrying sleeping sickness, if it's in the same system, can introduce it to the other fish. But then also, even a fish that has had the virus and recovered can become a carrier and can continue to transmit that. They'll shed that into the water basically and continue to transmit it to newer fish or younger fish or immunosuppressed fish, those with a weaker immune system, in which case it's an ongoing thing. So really, prevention is not really too much you can do to prevent it, other than obviously avoid wild fish that you of an unknown source. You shouldn't be taking fish out of the wild and chuck them in your pond anyway. But even those from unknown sources can be risky. You just don't know. So try to only bring fish in where possible from not necessarily well known, but I mean places that carry out all the necessary precautions, farms, suppliers, whatever. Ones that carry out all the necessary quarantine procedures, things like heat ramping, treating them, whatever. Just more reputable sources, I guess. But that doesn't mean don't give others a chance. If you can go and view their setup, even better. If you can see what they do and you can see the health of the fish, that's even better. Excuse me. And I suppose the only other way to prevent it is, I suppose the main way for a lot of us is don't introduce young fish with a weaker immune system into a system that has had it, or sort of has had fish that have gone through it. And probably best not to mix them with older fish in general, because you may not know. They may have had it at some point in their life. You may not have owned the fish for its entire life, so it could be a carrier, could be shedding it into the water, you don't know. So raise your young fish separately until they are big enough, old enough, and have a strong enough immune system that if you do put them out and they do have a bit of a wobble, they are more likely to recover or not be affected, sort of thing. And that's all we can do, really. So I hope that's been of interest to you. And I just want to put another disclaimer out there. I did on the video, when I made the video, the original Welsh Dragon Sankey video. It's not the fault of New Forest. Any fish can carry this, and I dare say most, if not all, systems will have this in. It's in the nature of fish. All it takes is one fish to transmit it to thousands. So you buy a fish from whatever breeder you buy them from, whatever farm you buy them from, there's a chance they could already have it. So it's nobody's fault, except mine, I suppose, for introducing the fish. But I had no problems in the past, so I had no worries about doing it this time. I guess I had just gotten away with it until now. But now I know I'll definitely be taking these precautions in the future. And for the sake of your fish, I hope you do too. So anyway, hope that's been interesting for you. It's certainly been a wake-up call for me. As Koi Pond Lifestyle always says, every day's a school day. And yeah, it certainly is. I'm forever learning in this hobby. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you had this before, how did you treat it, that sort of thing. If I've got any information wrong, because I don't want to be spreading misinformation, this is just from what I've gathered from the people I've spoken to in the hobby. Obviously what you can find online that you have to take with a pinch of salt, so to speak. I don't know what percentage concentration of salt you need to take that with, but apparently for this, between 0.5 0.75%. So yeah, I'm not an expert in diseases and pathogens and viruses, nor am I an expert in fish biology, anything like that. This is just, like I say, information that's out there, and from what I've spoken to people, what I've managed to piece together, and then my own personal experience, what I tried, what seemed to work. So yeah, if I have got anything incorrect, don't bash me too hard. But feel free to let me know in the comments, because I am willing to learn. So anyway, that's enough rambling from me. So thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And I will see you on the next one, whatever that may be. Goodbye.